Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and it is time for a new Blu-ray collection update. So I've got a stack of Blu-rays here to talk over that I picked up in the last few months, and I've watched all of them. And that's what I like doing now, is when I'm going to do a collection update, I'm going to show you what I picked up recently, but I'm going to only show what I've actually watched. I still like doing, though, you'll still get recent pickups. So if I pick something up in one day and there's a lot, I still like going, okay, I got this, and I'm so excited to watch these. And those are always fun, like on Boxing Days, or sometimes the Walmart anniversary sale is usually pretty good. So I might do that in September. We'll see. Anyway, let's get this show on the road, and starting it off with the Raid Redemption. Now, some of you already know that I had picked this up because I did a mystery unboxing, and then I also almost watched this for my first movie night. It was 1 point away. American Beauty was beating it by 1 point, so I watched American Beauty in the town. But I almost watched this, and then afterwards, pretty much like the day after movie night, I actually ended up watching The Raid Redemption. So I think that for my next movie night, I might watch 3 movies if they're relatively short. So we'll see about that. But anyway, The Raid Redemption. I am actually really happy that I have this in my collection because it's really different from a lot of the movies that I have. I have a lot of action movies, don't get me wrong. I have tons of action movies because there's just a replayability for action movies. But this is martial arts action, and it's enjoyable. I've seen a few martial arts movies in my time. Jackie Chan's, you know, what's the other guy that's for Jet Li. So I've seen a few of them here and there. But this is just, so well done. There's a specific scene too, like it's not just martial arts, there's also a lot of gunfight because they're going around, it's a SWAT team that goes into a building full of just drug lords, and they're just crazy gunfights everywhere. But what I liked was when they mixed them both together at one point, because they're running through the levels of this building, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go through this floor and go to the next apartment below us. And as they're doing that, they're fighting with the guns, so they're shooting in, but people are coming through as well. And it's just like martial arts mixed in with the gunfighting, because there's so many people that they just keep switching back and forth. And it's so awesome. It was so well done. I love that. I wish we would have actually seen more of that throughout the movie. You do get more gunfights and obviously a lot more martial arts fights. But I liked it when they blended the two of them and they were going from level to level. That was really well done. And the main character, when he's fighting a ton of characters at once, he's just in the hallway and he's just fighting like 5 other guys. It's awesome. That's what I like about martial arts movies, that you can have this one character, or even a few characters sometimes, go through a bunch of people just because they're so good at their craft. They're just the best at what they do. Very enjoyable. I cannot wait for the second. If you haven't watched this, because it's a subbed movie, so you have to read, don't worry about that. There's really not a lot of reading to do because it's just a lot of action. So do not, if that's all that kept you from watching this and you really like action movies and martial arts movies, check it out. It's awesome. Next up, we have The Guardians of the Galaxy. And the only negative I have about this is not about the movie itself. I picked it up the first week that it was out, and it doesn't have a slipcover. I don't know why. The 3D does, but I don't have a 3D TV, and I don't think I ever will, because 3D just doesn't really do it for me. If I have the option when I'm at the theaters to watch a movie without 3D, I will go for that. It's very rare that I like 3D. It gets darker. Anyway, if you like it, that's cool. It's just not my preference. So anyway, I was just kind of upset that it didn't have a slipcover. But other than that, fantastic movie, one of the best of the year. What I like about this is it's first of all, it's a superhero movie by Marvel, so they can do anything. They could take a comic, and there was one page about one character. They could probably do a movie about that, and it would succeed because they're just at the top of their game right now. And the ensemble that they picked for this: Chris Pratt, Batista, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel as Groot. All he says is, "I am Groot." It's awesome. But they just worked so well together as a bunch of misfits. And the writing, the comedy is so good. Bradley Cooper as the raccoon telling people, there's something that he does when he forms his plans that's hilarious. I haven't laughed at a movie, a comedy in so long. This isn't really a comedy, but it made me laugh so much more than any other comedy in 2014 and in the last little while. This is one of the funniest movies I've seen in probably the last decade, honestly. It's hilarious. Tons of action too. It's like a Star Wars movie because they're in space. It's just a great movie. If by chance you have not seen this movie, check it out. If you like comedy, if you like action, if you like superhero movies, there's something for everyone in this movie. Next up is I'm a big fan of disaster movies, and one of my favorites growing up was Twister. This is, you know, it's kind of a little bit cheesy, on the cheesy side, but it's still so fun to watch. I can put this movie on like every few months and I'll be entertained. It's just, I watched it not too long ago, like maybe a month ago, and I'm having the itch to watch it tonight. I like just talking about it. It's so much fun. Disaster movies, they're just something about them, if they're done well, where you really get involved with the characters and you want them to survive, but you also want to see what the disaster is doing. I also feel that the same way when there's big monster movies, like Jaws, for example. The first Jaws, so good. It's not really a disaster movie, but kind of in the same vein where there's just one terror that's just destroying everybody around. And this is, you know, just so great. Bill Paxton. I thought that Bill Paxton would have like been a bigger actor. Don't get me wrong, he's been in some good roles, but I wish he would have been a little bit of a bigger actor, because he's really good. Another good movie that's interesting and very different that has Matthew McConaughey and Bill Paxton is Frailty, and I think Bill Paxton either directed or produced it or wrote it, something like, I think he directed, but I'm not 100% certain. But yeah, that's another good movie to check out. But disaster movie, Twisters, tornadoes going around and wrecking stuff, and they're trying to figure out a way to have this, implement this, Dorothy is what they call it, and it goes up in the air and basically it lets them know ahead of time when tornadoes are going to strike. So they're in the process of chasing the tornadoes as the tornadoes are coming towards them, and it's just adrenaline packed. And the characters too, there's what's his name? He just passed away, Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's in this and he's so young, because it's 20 years ago, and he's like this really big like surfer dude. Like, I just get it, like he's like this big nerd. That's it's awesome. It's so different from what he picked later on in his career. Next up is a crime movie that is anytime that there's detectives and lawyers, I'm into that. And it can even be a mediocre movie, which this movie pretty much is, but it's still, I enjoy it, and that is High Crimes. This stars Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman. This is their second teaming up. They were previously in Kiss the Girls, and I guess they enjoyed working with each other in that kind of movie. I'd say Kiss the Girls is a better movie though overall. But this one's really good, and what happens is Jim Caviezel, who I also really enjoy, he's from Person of Interest and Frequency. Frequency, another good movie that I really recommend watching. He is accused of committing crimes as a soldier where he killed like 9 people. And Ashley Judd didn't know that he was a soldier before, and she has to prove that he didn't do it. And she gets the help of Morgan Freeman, who used to be this old military lawyer, but he used to drink a lot. Anyway, really interesting, and anytime Morgan Freeman's in a movie, you're going to get some good stuff. And Jim Caviezel really did a good job in this movie too. He was really well done. I wish he would have been included in the title, because I mean, he's like the third main character, and he's like, you know, he did a really good job, I found. But overall, it is kind of like a mediocre movie. It's about a 6 out of 10, but it has rewatchability, and it's just, I like crime movies. Speaking of crime movies, probably the best crime movie ever. I've watched this movie. I first watched it about 3 months ago. At 1:30 a.m., I'm sitting in bed, my girlfriend's sleeping beside me, and I'm like, okay, I'm on Netflix, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch something and put it on for like half an hour and go to bed. So I wanted to go to bed at 2 a.m. And I can't really do that too often with movies, but if I'm really tired, I can. I don't really like splitting up movies half and half. But anyway, for this, whatever reason, this night I wanted to do that. So it's 1:30, and like, I'm gonna put on Zodiac. Bad idea. I stayed up until 4 something to finish this movie. I could not stop watching this movie. And once I was done watching the movie, this is based off of a true story on the Zodiac Killer. This is actually the letters that he used to send out, which is freaking awesome. Double stamped. So cool. Anyway, I was so interested in the real case. He was in the late 60s, early 70s. He just went on like a serial killing rampage, and he would send letters to newspaper publishers and say, you know, this is, and he would have these specific, you know, puzzles to solve, and he would say that he would reveal something about, you know, him in them, but he never really did. Like, I think only the first puzzle was ever really solved. Maybe the second one, I can't remember anymore. But anyway, so there I am at 4 a.m. I just finished watching this movie and I got so interested in the real case that I was looking it up online. I stayed up till like 5:30 after the movie, or 5:30, an hour and a half after the movie had finished, just because it was so interesting. And I'm like, I gotta go to bed now. It's 5:30 a.m. But such an interest. And then I got up to go to the washroom at 5:30. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed now. But I look outside and it's just completely silent. There's, you know, out in the street, there's nothing. It's in the midsummer is when okay, I guess it was the summer that I watched this. And I look outside and the windows are open and I can hear rustling, just like a little bit of a breeze, but everything else is so silent. There's no crickets, there's no birds, there's no nothing. And I hear like this little low rustling and I'm just like, oh, that's messed up. And I got like so freaked out. My heart just starts pumping as I watch the Zodiac. I'm like, oh, I don't like this. And I went outside and I looked around. Why did I look outside? I don't know why I did this, but I went outside and I just looked out. Nothing's there. Okay, went back in. I don't know why I did that. That was like, if I was in a horror movie, I would have been dead. But thankfully it was real life and it was probably a raccoon or something like that. But anyway, it just got me into that mood. So this movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, so Hulk and Iron Man pairing together. And it is amazing. This is one of the best thrillers of all time, one of the best movies of all time. I would give this movie like a 9 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. It is so well done. I cannot praise this movie enough. So I watched it in the summer. I watched it, I picked up the Blu-ray. I think I watched it in the fall because the windows were still open, but I think, yeah, because it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. So I would say maybe 6 months ago, five months ago, I watched this movie for the first time on Netflix. I ordered it on Blu-ray. I watched it with my father, and then just recently I watched it with my girlfriend, and it's amazing. It's just so good. It's so well done. Who directed this? Fincher, isn't it? Where is it gonna say? All the writing is so... Yeah, David Fincher. So you know you're getting a good movie out of him. He's a fantastic director. The mood, every scene has a purpose in this film. And in most Fincher movies. But it's no wasted time. And the angles are so beautiful too. And he nailed the era, like the 60s and 70s, perfectly too. And Robert Downey Jr. just fits in that era too. So it's just, everything works so well with this. And you're so rooting for Jake Gyllenhaal and all the other characters, and Mark Ruffalo too. Such an interesting story and case, and such a well done movie. So definitely check that movie out. I love it to death. All right, How to Train Your Dragon 2. I didn't enjoy this much as the first one, but it's still a very good movie, because How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite animation of all time. It's my favorite animated movie. So it was really hard for it to beat it, but it's still a really good movie. And this movie actually has some pretty big balls, because they do something halfway through the movie, and I was like, I did not expect that. So How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it looks really nice on Blu-ray too. Most of these movies. Zodiac looks fantastic on Blu-ray. It's awesome. Another favorite of mine from 2014, another superhero movie, X-Men Days of Future Past. Fantastic movie. The blending of the first class along with the original trilogy cast together to go back in time, and Wolverine is in both eras. So good. And I just loved seeing Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen together again. They're just, the only things that I liked about the original trilogy the most was Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and Ian McKellen. I didn't really care for anybody else. I wanted to like Cyclops, and I wanted to like Beast, but I didn't like them from the original trilogy. The new Beast, I really enjoy. But still, I don't feel like they've really nailed Beast yet. Anyway, just awesome. The only negative is I wish that the Sentinels in the past had a bigger role in this film. That's my only negative. But other than that, awesome movie. You check out the trailer for this, you're going to want to see the movie. That is one of the best trailers I've seen in my entire life. The X-Men Days of Future Past, so good. Okay, now we're at the TV shows. I've just got 3 TV shows here. 2 of them you already know about. Dragon Ball Z, I ordered the first season. I watched this with my girlfriend. We had such a good time rewatching this. It looks really good on Blu-ray. And I'm going to be picking up season 2 because, I mean, this was 39 episodes and I think we breezed through this in like a few days. We really had fun with this. I also want to pick up all the movies because I don't think I've seen all the movies. I've seen the majority of them. She hasn't seen any, so it's just going to be awesome going through all of those. The only thing is that I wish that there was an actual timeline for all the movies because they're kind of like, they're part of canon, not really. I don't know. Another anime that is a TV show that I watched for the first time, though, is Attack on Titan. I'm telling you, if you don't like anime, watch this. You will enjoy anime. This is a mature... I watched this when... Okay, so the premise of this is that there's this world where Titans exist, there's giants all around, but what people have done, humans have done, it's kind of in a medieval time, but they have a little bit of technology as well. They've walled themselves off, so no Titans can get through, except for one day, the colossal giant shows up, breaks through, and allows all the Titans to come in. And it's mayhem. When the Titans are killing the humans, it is some of the most graphic and heart-wrenching moments that I've seen ever. Not just in anime, in real life. When they're doing it, I felt sick to my stomach. It's revolting. And you're so against them. And as you see human civilization just get destroyed by these, you are like, oh my god, you're just brought down so much. But there's a few characters that really want to fight them. And everybody's afraid in this. Everybody. Almost everybody's a coward. But there's like 2 characters and a few others here and there, but there's 2 main characters that are just not afraid, and they are afraid, but they're gonna go do it anyway. And whenever they have their speeches, it's so, you get behind them so much, and you really want to see them succeed and be able to take down a Titan. It's just, it's so well done. And one of the coolest things that's actually really cool to watch too in anime is that the way that they can attack the Titans is that they have these packs on their sides that allow them to kind of like spring up like Spider-Man and kind of fling themselves around in a city, or even attach themselves onto a Titan, and then they go around with these giant swords and attack them. It's so entertaining. It's so cool to watch. Like it's just so much fun seeing them fling around, and it's just really well done animation. But yeah, Attack on Titan. So good. If you've seen by chance Death Note, this is the director of Death Note, so not exactly the exact same, they're not super similar, but really entertaining. Love this movie. I'm actually thinking of possibly doing a review on some TV shows, and Attack on Titan would definitely be one of them. I need to pick up part 2 very soon now. And last but not least, Supernatural. I had picked up season 1 just because it was there and it was really cheap at one point. I started watching it with my girlfriend, and I have season 1 to 4 on DVD, so we watched the rest of 2 and 3 on DVD, and I'm watching season 4 at the moment. This is my second time around because I watched a little bit of up to season 5. Like I actually have season 5 on Blu-ray because that's what I was watching at the time. But my girlfriend wanted to watch it, so that's what we're going through, and we're currently on season 4. I like Supernatural. I know that a lot of people are saying that like Supernatural kind of goes, it's not as good later on in the later seasons, but so far I've seen basically up to season 6, and I really like it. I love Dean and Sam. They just go around hunting things, like demons, ghosts. My favorite seasons were probably season 1 and 2 though, but I really do like the inclusion of Cass in season 4. And what happens once season 4 gets started, it's like this new arc basically that happens that deal with the brothers, and it's really cool. I enjoyed it. I don't know if, I've heard that some people have conflicting thoughts. And Bobby's another freaking awesome character. Love him. Really good show. If you like really like Halloweenish movies, this is basically a Halloween movie throughout the entire year. All 24 episodes, or I think it's 22 episodes maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, it feels like you're watching a constant Halloween movie. I really enjoy them, and for a TV show, it's pretty good. Like some of the ghost episodes are actually kind of scary, like creepy in a way. So that's it for this update. So thank you all for watching, and we're gonna be doing another movie night pretty soon. So you've been bearded in. Thanks for watching, everyone. Beardage.